Hello, my name is Tammy McKenzie. I'm the director of the OLA Fellowship. Who's who in AI decision making? So, AI is a general purpose technology. It's touching every sector of society. So, when we think about who's making decisions about AI, we can start from people who are making decisions for a lot of people and move towards people who are making decisions for smaller numbers of people. In that sense, we have parents and making decisions in the home about how AI is going to be used. Those are decision makers. We have teachers, we have professionals in society, journalists, everybody who works at the intersection of different sectors and communities are having to make decisions about how they want AI to be used, who's being affected, who's benefiting from these technologies, how do they work. We have business decision makers. The economy is making many decisions around AI. So the investors are making decisions, the creators and the developers are making decisions, the executive teams are making decisions, the marketing teams are making decisions. So in business, we have a number of decision makers as well. In civil society, at every level. So we have municipal levels who are dealing with municipal and regional governments who are dealing with tools to be implemented for efficiency, for front-facing smart city stuff to citizens, for controlling traffic, for surveillance, for looking at bylaw laws. So facial recognition, I should mention it, commercial, we have in our communities as well, we have these technologies are in our businesses, so in our retail businesses, as well as things like hospitals and schools. So there's decision makers there who have to decide, again, same questions, who's going to use it, who's vulnerable, who's benefiting from it, who's, paying for it. Then we have typical democratic decision-making systems. So we have ombuds people, we have elected representatives, there's consultation processes, there's different regulations. So again, at that regional level, then you get, provincial or state and national levels, similar challenges, different types of implementations, military implementations, large scale logistics and transportation, automation of systems analysis, environmental protections. The people who are deciding how we're going to monitor for wildfire, how are we going to monitor our oceans or our fisheries, are having to decide how they're going to use AI. And again, always the same questions. There's three of them. What's it doing to the different groups of people who are involved with it? Who's making decisions about it? Who's paying for it and being paid for it? At the international level, there's a similar level. Again, we're in democratic or close to democratic societies where we have these mechanisms to get engaged with decision making, so citizens can do that as well. At the national, especially, and at the regional level, there's also things like associations, churches, clubs, affinity groups, lifestyle groups, your friends, and then at the widest level, we have international mechanisms of conversation where we put in standards, where we find that every once in a while all of humanity agrees on one or two things, and so they're making decisions there as well. And at that level, at those big union levels, the OECD, the WTO, the World Trade Organization, the United Nations, the UNESCO, these organizations are international. They're accessible to most citizens if you want. You have access in democratic ways to join consultations and to speak with decision makers, and also to join them in that process, to bring your own specialty and knowledge from your sector and your community. And last but certainly not least, when you're the decisions that have to be made are also yours. You're perhaps not of expecting it. Many of us weren't expecting this. Who would? But nonetheless, it's now in our sectors, it's in our communities, and decisions do need to be made. I would add that even in governments that are less authoritarian, there are pressures that can be made based on the needs of citizens, and there's councils and commissions and ways to get involved, and pressures, financial pressures that can be put to bear behind the decisions that you take. So that's it. Who's who in decision making in AI?